really shouldn't stay anymore. It's been so long since I had you. Forgotten what love is for. I should ride over double. I think I'm in trouble. Think I'm in trouble.
Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. This is the Steelers Broncos film review. This was really a game of consistency, and it's definitely a game without a doubt of player personnel. The offensive line is inconsistent. A lot of run plays were stuffed, and it was more not due to the running backs, it's just due to the lack of not being able to run block efficiently, consistently. The Denver Broncos defense really should be a concern. This isn't just, we'll get it fixed. Well, it's becoming very glaring apparent, and this channel has, brought this up so many times. The Broncos lack the player personnel. Now they're going to get Darby back, and that's going to help. And quite frankly, we think Fuller should be benched. And I brought this up after the Giants game, is that Surtain, who definitely has his set of problems, don't make no mistake about that. Fuller probably should just be benched. So you got Surtain on one side, you'll have Darby on the other side, and I'm not sure what the condition of what his condition is. Is he 100%? Is he, what's the deal? And that'll make itself known. And then Callahan, covering the slot. The bat for the offense of the Denver Broncos, clearly lack of preparation or something. Just and this seemed to be going on all along. This taking too much time to get the play off. The very first play they get off after their penalty, the interior of the Denver Broncos offensive line is completely ineffective to run the football at all. I mean, even to even move players on the Pittsburgh defense. Picking up where they left off at 3rd and longs, one has to ask, is the offensive line capable of holding the Steelers? And is Teddy's arm good enough to get him past that? Something we brought up on these 3rd and longs to get the ball out there so that they can continue to move the change. This is just a reoccurring theme. Okay, here we go again. Another day, another Sunday, another day where the opponent gets 3rd and short. This time, Justin Simmons completely miffs all this excuse making by the great Sandy Clough. Oh, he's not being utilized. Oh, please. He's just not that great of a player. 1st down, Steelers. Give Purcell, one of our better players on this defensive line, if not the best player on our defensive line, takes a hell of a shot and knocking down a ball. I'm just wondering if he has to go through the concussion protocol. Maybe not. And yet again, the Steelers can put out a 3rd and short, something Shermer just can't seem to do. 3rd and 2, just a little pitch and catch, of course, move the chains. On this 1st and 10, you really get you can really see the defensive line just getting pushed back. No problem at all. It's no penetration. And matter of fact, with all the passing plays, it's the same thing. There's just no interior push whatsoever. And this is something Bronco fans refuse to look at, refuse to talk about, and it's a big reason why Pittsburgh was always getting these 3rd and shorts. Very next play, again, Broncos getting pushed back. I mean, you can see that this is going to go on all day long. Here we got the replay right here. It was even a bad snap too. But it doesn't matter. The defensive line is just getting pushed back. Where's your Draymond Jones? Please, come on. Now, in this next play, just to give you an example about push up the middle, Purcell, even though he doesn't make the initial tackle, he does block the gap with the push up the middle. It's always a drive killer. Whether it's a quarterback, whether it's the running back, it's always a killer. It just is. And the Broncos actually, get them on a loss. What did I say? Ben Roethlisberger, Mr. I hold on to the ball too long, strip sack. And that strip sack would come from the edges. I mean, quite frankly, he's got all day to get rid of this ball, just like Zach Wilson in that Jets game. Well, the very first offensive play by the Broncos, you just can't get that offensive line to bust some holes up. Yeah, they got everything plugged up, and they're not moving anybody, unlike the Steelers. Here we have Fant whiffing on his block and his assignment. Again, just this team can't block. It just, when they play better, these better lines. Fant whiffing, and then his man just gets back there. We got a sack. We're going to be looking at 3rd and long yet again. And no, I can't blame the running back for this. When your guy misses his assignment, it's bad football. 3rd and 12, and the Steelers will give you that all day long. Well, here's a little innovation. Oh, look, the Broncos D-line, they were able to get, but Ben Roethlisberger just threw it too far. No, if you knew a little bit about football, they allowed the line to come in, and this was a design, let the D-line come in. We're going to throw behind the D-line. And why can't Shermer even just remotely have a play like this? The Shermer has no creativity whatsoever. I don't care what sports talk radio wants to tell you. They're already making apologies for him. This is the kind of stuff the Broncos should have been doing, but no. Yeah, we'll let Draymond Jones come in, and then we'll have a big play. Yeah, no problem. Again, the Broncos get moved. Good holes for the running back. First play right off the bat, second quarter. And yet again, the Denver Broncos D-line gets moved around. Yeah, this offensive line is a makeshift offensive line with a couple of rookies. Just horrible play. They just run to the weak side. Wow. They just made that easy. Just made that run easy. Just the way they were lined up too. It just awful. Just awful. But again, Roethlisberger, this ball probably really should have been picked off. He's lucky it wasn't by Surtain. I think the only reason Surtain didn't pick this off is because the throw itself was bad. Or maybe the throw wasn't bad. Maybe that's where the receiver was really supposed to be. Maybe he went to the inside when he was really supposed to go to the outside. What looked to be, it's 3rd and short, and what looked to be like a bad Teddy Bridgewater throw was actually a good Teddy Bridgewater throw. But Sutton, you got to come up with these, and I can blame Shermer and all this stuff. But honestly, the player has to catch this. Sutton's got to, be aware he's a target out there, at all times. Big 3rd down for the Steelers, and here is Surtain playing the part of, hey, I'm not Fuller. Good coverage. Maybe he should be moved over and not do the slot. Now, here is a running back that you give him a hole like this, it's adios amigo, and you're going to be looking at him through your rearview mirror. Williams just exploits this massive hole, and they pay the price for it. Steelers are lucky this wasn't a touchdown. I mean, they lucked out big time. All right, Teddy inside, and Teddy and Shermer inside the red zone. Let's go. Well, in this sack, I was going to blame Teddy Bridgewater. Then I was going to blame Glasgow, and I had to keep playing it over and over. And no, the culprit of this sack is Williams. He's the stopgap. Stopgap has to stay put, not try to help the lineman out, because he's the last line of defense. He goes and either helps Massey or Glasgow out. After the play, I'll freeze the frame here. You can see Williams turning to Massey, and he's like, I know those conversations. So, these are the things that are killing the Denver Broncos. A gaffe like this, and it seems it's always in the red zone. It seems to me it's almost phobic, because there's always somebody screwing something up in the red zone. during the preseason and these games against these lightweights, not being able to convert, red zone problems. We said that this would come back and haunt the Broncos, and instead of getting touchdowns, they would end up settling for field goals. Don't listen to those guys. Tune in your sports talk radio because we're going to go to Pittsburgh and we're going to show them. I just want to point out we got one safety that can actually play, and that's Kareem Jackson. So let's see about getting rid of him so we can pay the other guy who can't. Let's do that. Very next play, nice clean pocket. Now, I got to ask this question because I've accused the Broncos, John Elway, of trying to hide Justin Simmons because he's getting exposed on the regular. Now, of course, he's sending talking points to people like Sandy Clough. Oh, they don't know how to use him. Well, obviously, they don't know how to use Von Miller covering this wide receiver. This is where Justin Simmons should be, but they can't because they're hiding him. So they put Von Miller on him. This is just ridiculous. And again, here's my criticism on Roethlisberger. Obviously holding on to the ball too long. Very bad, poor judgment. If this been Zaven Collins, the guy I wanted in the draft, this probably would have been an interception. This is all just, he had plenty of time to get rid of the football, but and this is my criticism of Roethlisberger is just bad decision. Holding on to the ball too long. Man, had this been Zaven Collins, it probably would have been a pick six, or damn near it anyway. And that wonderful pickup, Kyle Fuller, engaging. He's a vet, and he knows that he's not supposed to be doing this. So, if the Broncos just give him another chance, the Steelers are kind of self-destructing on their own, but don't help them out. Give them another chance. Poor coverage by the Pittsburgh Steelers leads the Broncos down the field on this 2-minute drill. And here comes the self-destruction for the Broncos. Never fails. False start. None other than Garrett Bowles. None other. Way too much time. Bridgewater's, and there's going to be holding. When you hold, now I can't blame the offensive line. He just has to get rid of the ball. There's nothing going on. Everything's, again, okay, I want to say something, too, about, Garrett Bowles is holding. Go figure. But again, I'm not going to even blame him because Bridgewater's holding on to the ball way too long. I want to say something, too, with Drew Lock. I don't care what you fucking assholes have to say. One thing Drew Lock did well is the 2-minute drill. He was like a master of the 2-minute drill. And it just, the Broncos, I don't know. It just, definitely, Bridgewater was gun shy on this 2-minute drill at the end. Also, he was making some bad throws, too. I just want to say, weren't we sold by STR and all the fans that just mimic everything that they say and those online paid-for platforms taking Dove Valley talking points that this was the 2015 no-fly zone defense all over again. And it's halftime. And the Steelers have 156 passing yards. Are you kidding me? And as much as you want to laugh at the Raiders and feel good about that, I think the Raiders can out-throw this team with Carr. Yeah, I know. You know it all. But if a banged-up, hobbling statue can throw for 150 fucking 6 yards, Katie bar the door. I don't know what you people, you want to blame Fangio? They don't have the player personnel. They're soft in the middle. They're hard on the edges. You wanted 90s football. You got it. And I'll show you what's really killing this Broncos team, this so-called 2015 defense. Really no pass rush and very soft coverage. On a 2nd and 17, you're in this game, but now you're just letting it slip away. Here's Justin Simmons on a running back. And when I said soft coverage, that soft coverage is Simmons. For all the Sandy Cloughs and everybody, you didn't complain when he was in this role, basically hiding the same kind of role. The first 3 games, and we see that Justin Simmons gets beat over the top. We see that he gets beat in robber. The guy just gets beat, period. What do you want him to do? Just hide so that you don't have to talk about him? I mean, what is it he can do? What's the role? Because Vic Fangio, has been putting together pretty decent defenses for a long time. What is it that you know that he doesn't? Justin Simmons just can't his salary, who he is, it just can't be justified that this guy is top anything. This is, again, the same 2nd and 17. It's just mind-blowing. What Bronco fans need to learn about this game is not in the last quarter. If you want to know what went wrong, why the Broncos were in this do-or-die situation, in the first place, you had to look at the first 3 quarters of the game to get a gist of it. The Steelers just were much more consistent. They weren't exactly great, but they were definitely a lot more consistent than the Broncos. And ultimately that gave them the win. I mean, the Steelers definitely have issues when they allowed the Broncos to come within seconds to tie the game. After basically pretty much dominating for 3 quarters, they got their own problem. These problems that the Broncos have are not going to change until there's a cultural change, until people really understand, you need base player personnel so that the better players on the marquee players, the more known players, they can really shine. Instead of trying to dig the rest of them out. Like I said, don't look at the first 3 quarters. Don't learn anything. Just look at the last quarter and think you're going to go and just dominate the Raiders, the Grudenless Raiders. And the thing is, I didn't even show the Draymond Jones screw-ups. Draymond Jones, he's Hayward. He ain't no Hayward. We can't have a Hayward in Denver because it's all about PR and spin. It's not about actually getting Haywards.